Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So we're a bit late on the co-optional lounge, as you're probably well aware. Jesse's stuck in traffic, so he wanted us to push it back an hour. I'm going to do a little bit of Q&A just to make sure the stream is stable. And because I haven't done Q&A in ages. I do intend to do a full Q&A session. Once the chemo's done, it's got my final round. One more. Just one more to go. Feeling pretty good today. Okay, so I'll take a few questions from the sub-chat. And we'll talk a little bit about that. And then once Jesse's back, we'll set up. And we'll get going with Battlestar Galactica, which will be interesting. Thankfully, Virtual Tabletop has a save game feature. So if we don't finish, we can resume next week. Which will be great. So yeah, feel free. By all means, toss some questions in the channel. And I will answer them to the best of my ability. You do still have a sub here, Caitlin Delia. Yes, indeed. Carnage just tried Witcher Adventure game. Damn, I mean, I want to like that game. I like it. Like, it's a pretty good game. It does lack player interaction, but that's not the worst thing ever to happen. Like, I don't mind playing some games that have a lack of player interaction. The problem is the game's not stable. It's that simple. I mean, it's actually better off to play Witcher Adventure game in the tabletop simulator than it is to play the actual client, which should never happen. That should absolutely never happen. Okay. So what's going to happen with the board game? All right, yeah. So here's what's happening with the board game, right? So far. Bear in mind, all of this is, like, subject to change. So because I'm not a moron and I don't work on things without asking people, I went to Blizzard to ask them about the IP, and they said, basically, I'm cool to make it if I make it as either print and play or as part of the StarCraft 2 client as a mod. If I put it in another game and make it public, they're not okay with that, because they've got a bunch of licensing issues with other companies for the other WoW board games, so that would cause them a lot of problems. But they are actually really enthusiastic about having the game as part of StarCraft 2, so we can actually make it and you can play it for free, because the StarCraft 2 arcade client is free. So that's our goal. If I finish the game, then the goal is to implement it into the StarCraft 2 free arcade client so everyone can play it. And that's cool, because the StarCraft 2 client will handle all the tracking and all the rules and everything, so it'll be an actual fully fledged board game. That's the hope. Do you plan on playing the expansions for BSG at some point? Yeah, I mean, I'd add a Pegasus, definitely. Pegasus is a good expansion. I think it needs a house rule, because airlocking people is too good. It needs to be modified so airlocking has a bigger punishment. The other expansions, like, I bought one of them. Which one? Was it Daybreak? Exodus. I bought Exodus for my collection at home. And, like, we used some of the Exodus features, but a lot of them were really weird and complicated. And apparently, the last one, whatever that is even worse. So it gets really crazy with Battlestar with all the expansions, so it takes a lot of work. Are there any plans to eventually continue the Warhammer roleplay? Yeah. Once chemo's done, I want to start sessions of Dark Heresy again, probably 2 hours. I don't want to do the full 4-hour sessions. Like, they really take a lot out of me, like, right now. And it's going to take, even after chemo's done, it's going to take a while for me to get back to, like, full strength. So I want to do, like, 2-hour sessions. I think that's much better anyway. Like, these 2-hour story sessions are much better than 4. So, yeah, I will do Dark Heresy again, I promise. That's going to happen. Okay. What else you got? Which countries have you been to? Which one you like the most? I like Sweden a lot. I've been to Sweden several times. I love it. We stayed in Stockholm for a week just after a DreamHack, just because we wanted to have a holiday. And it was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. People are great. We met some amazing people in Sweden. I love almost everything about it, except for the weather, of course. We went to some great places. Went to some really awesome... Went to this Viking pub, and we drank mead, and it was fucking great. And there were swords and axes on the walls and furs, and we sat on benches. The people are amazing in Sweden. Absolutely fantastic. I had the rare pleasure of lecturing at a university there on basically game design, and it was all about marketing your game and actually, like, designing a game that's appealing to, like, a large audience in this sort of YouTube world, I suppose. And I had an absolute blast with that. Everyone was really welcoming, so I'd love to go back to Sweden. Finland's pretty cool too. I had good times in Finland, although a lot of that probably had to do with the alcohol, I gotta admit. Spain's fun too. I've been to loads of places. I mean, is there a place that I wouldn't want to go back to? I don't think so. I went to Italy, and Italy was fucking great too. Yeah, they're all good. They're all cool. Obviously, it helps when you speak the language. Like, I did struggle a little bit in Venice, but yeah, it's not too bad. Am I satisfied with the amount of Weasel? I'll never be satisfied with the amount of Weasel. We need more Weasel. That's gonna be Totalbiscuit, what are your top board games? Well, BSG is definitely one of my favorites. Like, BSG is one I've played a lot of. I love Chaos in the Old World, which is a Warhammer fantasy-themed board game. Absolutely phenomenal game. Love it to death. Unfortunately, getting people to play that is difficult. Obviously, I like Dominion a lot, which is a card game. I actually think I like card games more than board games, honestly. I love lots of different card games. And I'm trying to learn more. I'm trying to learn Netrunner, and I'm trying to learn Doomtown Reloaded. And there's a bunch of other card games that I really want to play, too. I also, of course, like a bit of King of Tokyo. It's not a complicated game. King of Tokyo is definitely not a complex game, but I have a lot of fun with it. I do have King of New York, which is the new version, which looks a lot better. So I'm looking forward to eventually playing that. But I have loads of board games that I haven't even had the chance to play yet, so I'm really excited to actually learn them. When do you get your port removed, or is that part of you now? It will be taken out, which is good. I don't feel it anymore. Like, for the first 2 weeks, I really felt it there, because it's like, it's a big piece of plastic that's under my skin, and it's a port that goes directly into a vein. So it's like permanent access with a valve to one of my primary arteries. So for the like 2 weeks, I really felt it, but I don't feel it anymore. I don't really notice it's there. Plus, the skin's hardened under there. Like, the first few times they put the line in, it really hurt, but now it doesn't hurt as much, so it's because all of the skin's kind of just chiseled up around that area. But yeah, it'll be nice to get the port out of my body. It's not like I've had any problems with it, like there's been no infection or anything, but who wants a piece of technology in their body, right? Nobody does. Have you seen much of Warhammer 40,000 Eternal Crusade? I haven't, really. I'm just... I don't know. I'm gonna wait. I'm very wary of dealing with Warhammer games, because, frankly, they're often very disappointing. I am liking the look of Vermintide, though, and I played a bit of Mordheim, and it was pretty good. It reminded me of Valkyria Chronicles, so I think Mordheim might actually not suck. Have you played Relic? I have. Relic is a much better version of Talisman, in my opinion. It's got some mechanics that really like cut the game length down in a big way. We will be playing Talisman at some point because it does have a very good client, but Talisman has a tendency to drag on. So I think we're waiting for the next DLC because they're putting the next part of the board in. I think it's the Forest is the next DLC. So I think we're waiting for that before we play Talisman. But Talisman will probably make its appearance several times on this show because it's a very casual, easy to play game. Do I have an ETA on my board game? Fuck no. I have no idea when that's going to be done. Like, all the rules are basically done. I need to balance the combat a bit more, but then I've got to work on itemization. I've got 650 items that I need to itemize, so it's going to take a long time. That's before we go into alpha. Okay, let's see what we got. Are you ready to strangle me for all the pretty princess? No, Chibi Warmonger, by all means. It's better than the Cox X Totalbiscuit stuff. That, yeah, we don't want any more of that. What did GOG say about the Witcher Adventure Game Disconnect? They were really sorry, because obviously, like, it's embarrassing for me. So, I hope they get it fixed. Like, if I can encourage them to fix that game, that'll be great. Because obviously, like, it puts me in an awkward position because I'm a critic, and I can't assess that game. But simultaneously, I have to say to my audience, look, that game doesn't work properly, and it needs fixing. So... yeah, it's really embarrassing. How did Axiom Team react to Pro Hearthstone win? They were pretty surprised, I think. I wouldn't exactly call it a Pro Hearthstone win, come on. You know, I got lucky with the bracket. I mean, it's just how they randomized it. I didn't think I'd be able to beat the odd one because he's really good. He's like, I think he's regular, like, rank 4 or 5 on the ladder, so... I didn't think I'd be able to beat him, but I got a good draft, so, and his wasn't so great. Have you considered playing Betrayal at House on the Hill? I actually don't like that game. I'm going to be honest. I bought it after watching it on tabletop, and I'm not really a huge fan of it. Like, the first part of it is kind of enjoy the ride. The main problem with it is that as soon as you hit the haunting phase, you've got to learn an entirely new game on the spot, and it's really fucking annoying. So we played around a Betrayal, and we weren't huge fans of it, actually. So, yeah, we probably won't play that. How long is the final chemo round? The chemo is basically 4 hours in the chemo center where they plug you into the pump, and then they put you on a portable pump to pump for 2 more days. And that's the hard bit, because that really wears you down. And then once you get disconnected on the Friday, so they take everything out, they flush it, and basically for about 2 days you feel like shit, and then you feel okay again. But some of the symptoms don't go away. Like, the neuropathy. I have, like, neuropathy in my hands and my lips. I have cold trigger neuropathy, meaning that I can actually choke to death if I drink something that's too cold. Can't have ice cream at all. It'll close my throat and kill me. So, that's not fun. And obviously there's the issue with attacking my immune system, but actually my white cell count's really good right now. I get a report every week of all my stats, and actually my stats are really good. I guess I got lucky on the genetic lottery. Well, I don't know if I count that lucky, really. It's like, hey, yeah, you got cancer, but simultaneously you have a really strong immune system that doesn't die to chemo. So, like, okay, I guess that works. When can we expect a Weasel shirt? Jen doesn't want to do a Weasel shirt because she doesn't think it'll sell very well. We want to do something different. I'm talking to the designers about a plush and a coffee mug. So the coffee mug will have like the weasel's tail as the handle, and it'll be a really, really nice coffee mug. And we're looking to do a weasel plush, which will probably have like a headset and a top hat and things. So yeah. Is Norman Love the best chocolate in the world? I think it is. I'm gonna be honest. I have not found a single fucking chocolate that is better than Norman Love, and I've had a lot of chocolate. I like chocolate. I like chocolate a lot. So Norman Love blows my mind, not only in the way that you in the way that they actually design it, but also in the way that it tastes. Like they have, I really like fruit flavored chocolate, like especially something with orange or lemon or something like that. And they do these creams which are just fucking amazing. Holy shit. They do a mango and passion fruit one. It's oh god. It's the best. To be fair, those are also $2 of chocolate, so they better be fucking good. I'm buying some for the oncology staff, because they've been really great throughout this whole thing. And a little box for myself, which will last about a day. Any plans for WCFs of Dragon Ball Xenoverse? I'm getting Jen to play it, because I just don't understand Dragon Ball. Like, I guess I'll play it, probably. It's not high on the list. Like, the anime games and stuff, I don't really play much. It's the same reason I didn't play the Naruto stuff. I don't understand the game. Like, I don't understand the universe, so I don't know if I'd be able to assess it properly, but I'm told that it's good, but Jen's been having some real problems with it, frame rate-wise. It might just be a laptop, because my old rig actually broke down. We think the motherboard needs replacing. So, guess I burnt that down to the ground. Do you think Sega will ever apologize for what they did? Maybe. I don't really care, because apparently, they're cutting staff left, right, and center and going to mobile gaming, so I imagine it's not even going to be a fucking concern sooner rather than later, which will be nice. I hope that Atlas and, like, Creative Assembly go and get published by someone else that I actually like. What's your favorite hard cider here in the States? Angry Orchard's not bad. I still import, though. I still prefer a Magners to an Angry Orchard, and I'll just import the Magners, but I've bought a bunch of other kinds of cider that I've been able to get at World Market, but I haven't been able to try them yet, because obviously, like, I'm constantly on prescription meds, so I can't drink right now. Yeah. What happened with the cat crying all the time? The cat's kind of settled down. She's getting over the fact that, you know, her mother's gone, basically. You know, she doesn't get to see her mother again, but now we're her parents, so she cries less. Plus, it was also a lot to do with the collar, or what is it, like, some disease that she has that she's getting over, so, yeah, the cat's behaving a lot better. I know you're no longer a P.O. box to avoid ethical complications with developers, but it was a way fans could send you things. No, there isn't. It's impossible to distinguish what comes from a fan and what comes from a dev, because more often than not, they'll send them under their own name. Like, here's the thing. I got a gift from the guys for Christmas, from the guys behind Guns of Icarus, because they already knew my address anyway. They sent me a Christmas gift. And that's really kind of them. But what about their next game? Like, now, how am I supposed to assess that fairly? You know, that's the problem. I'm going to have to minimum disclose it, probably recuse, because, I mean, they sent me, like, it was a $30 board game or whatever. It's a board game about trains, which I love board games about trains. They're fucking fantastic. But now I'm in this really awkward position where I was like, look, I've worked with you on a brand deal before. Whenever you make your next game, you've sent me a gift. I don't know what to fucking do now, you know? I don't know how to treat this. I'm gonna have to, at minimum, just disclose. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Favorite Star Trek episode from any series? Oh, fuck. I mean, it's gotta be, I mean, Best of Both Worlds has gotta be up there, but think about, I can't remember the name of it, but it was the DS9 episode where they bring the Romulans into the Dominion War. What's the name of that one? That was a fucking brilliant episode. I'm just trying to find... was it In the Pale Moonlight? I think it was In the Pale Moonlight. Yeah. In the Pale Moonlight. Fucking fantastic episode. Lovely. Well, not lovely. It was actually brutal. I loved the moral quandary in that one. Am I aware that Greg's now sell frozen pasties to the public? Disgraceful. Care to expound on your current War Thunder experience? It's pretty good so far. I actually think I like the tanks better than I like the planes. Although I haven't tried the planes with my flight stick yet, so I might start to believe otherwise at that point. I haven't put much research into those. I think I bought in on a yak to fly, and I researched a bomber. But tanks-wise, I've got like a Panzer IIIN, I've got Panzer IV-C and E, that are both pretty good kind of medium tanks. And so far, I've been having a bunch of fun with it. I have died a few times with like a random shot that's hit my ammo and just blown my tank up completely, and I think that's just a thing you have to live with. But like hitting someone with that in that game is really satisfying, and I love the way that the game tracks where the shell goes and shows you exactly what it hit. So it's like, hey, this shrapnel hit the guy's gunner in the head. Like, it's that precise in its damage modeling, which is pretty impressive. So far, War Thunder's actually been pretty fun. So we will see. So far, I'm liking it. And, like, you can jump in. What was this tuna pizza you tweeted about earlier? I love tuna pizza. I fucking love it. It's absolutely delicious. And the Belgians will tell you about tuna pizza. You can go to Pizza Hut in Belgium and you can get a tuna pizza, and it's awesome. Absolutely. I like it. Like, it's a good flavor. I like heated kind of grilled tuna and cheese on top. Like, it's a fucking college thing to do, but a lot of, like, if I'm cooking quickly, I'll do that. You can get these Tostino's party pizzas, which are like $1 each, which are crappy pizzas, but they have like a crispy base. They've got like minimum tomato sauce and cheese on them. But I add a can of tuna, and I add like a 6-blend Italian cheese and some pepper and a bit of garlic, and then I just cook that. Fucking delicious. I will not open a new P.O. box for chocolate bourbons. Chocolate bourbons aren't that good, I've got to say. It's not all that good. I'm not too impressed. I love chocolate hobnobs now. Those are fucking killer. But to be fair, I'm a biscuit snob. Like, I buy, like, Fox's... I import Fox's biscuits across the fucking Atlantic because they're that damn good. I just got Battlestar to play with friends. Any advice on how to make it better? Roleplay. Like, make sure... the enjoyment of BSG is all down to how good the silent player is, often. One thing I will say, if you don't already know, do make sure that whenever you do the loyalty draw, that everyone takes about 20 seconds to look at the card. Did I increase the size of the camera frames? For some reason, Chris hasn't got around to it yet. It's on the list. We are supposed to be increasing the size of the camera frames and reducing the size of the overall game frame, so you can see more of the game. Working on it. Favorite Warhammer 40,000 race? That's fucking Chaos, obviously. Come on, really? I play, well, I have some Warhammer. I don't play, but I have, like, a small Thousand Suns Zine Charmy. Opinion on Munchkin. Really good gateway game with the right people. It's a game about dicking people over, and that's hilarious, and it will lose you friends. You need the right kind of people to play that game. There's not a lot of skill involved with it, but that's actually okay too. Like, not every game has to have a bunch of skill involved. Like, it can still be fun, and Munchkin's a really good game to play with friends. It's easy to teach as well, which is helpful. And it's also a very quick setup. That, and it's, like, infinitely expandable. That's the cool thing about Munchkin. You could just keep buying sets for it, and you could just have fucking so many different Munchkin combinations. We can't do Munchkin on a co-optional because they actually DMCA'd it off the Steam service. Apparently, Steve Jackson Games really does not want their games on Virtual Tabletop. Which I understand. I mean, the Virtual Tabletop thing is really awkward because, like, it's really the only way to play a lot of these board games, but simultaneously, it's technically illegal if they DMCA claim it. So, what I hope is that these companies will actually reach an agreement just to release official DLC. That would be brilliant. Absolutely love to see official DLC for Virtual Tabletop for these games that's high quality. That would be fantastic. I would pay. I'd happily pay. I'll pay twice. I own these board games. I own the physical versions. Some of these board games are $100 each. I own them. I want to play them with my friends. This is the only way I get to do it a lot of the time. Because obviously I'm on the East Coast, a lot of my friends on the West. So there you go. Okay. Let's see what else. I'm going to play Android Netrunner. No. I mean, that's a 2-player game. We're playing 4-player games for the most part here on the show. Is there any video game franchise you'd like to see a board game adaptation of? Well, most of them do. It's just whether or not the games are any good. Like, Civilization's got one. Hell, I've got the Bioshock board game here. Gears of War has a board game, which I have. Doom has a board game, which I have. What would I... There's even an Eve board game, which is apparently quite good. War Thunder would be pretty good. I don't know, like, there's all sorts of... You can really adapt games to be all sorts of different things. That's the cool thing about board games. They just have to have, like, a good theme, and then you build the mechanics under that. Let's see what else we've got. Yeah, so we're doing Dragon Con. Planning on doing E3 this year. And, oh god, what else? I was looking at MomoCon. I'm not 100% sure on that one yet, though, because I think it's in May, and I'm not 100% sure if I'll be okay by then. But for the moment, it's Dragon Con and E3 that are our plans. I'm not going to say PAX yet, because I don't know if we're actually going to hit PAX. We might not. Let's see what else. Any intentions of streaming some more X-Wing Alliance? Probably not. Although I did consider doing nice things on it. I think I might do nice things on it, because there's some really interesting design decisions in that game that I think you can't even get away with anymore. It's like, fuck, you have missions about scanning cargo containers that can be instantly failed if you crash into them. Like, that's a terrible system. But that game is simultaneously an absolute classic, so I have considered doing a video on it, but I'm not... I'd have to play more of it. Like, I really, really don't like doing nice things videos on games that I'm not very familiar with. And X-Wing, it's been a long time since I've played it. I'd have to probably play the entire game again. And that's very time-consuming. Those games are like 20 hours long. Have I played the WoW board game? We tried. When the WoW board game first came out at BlizzCon 2005, we did try to play it, but it was really complicated. I did play the WoW adventure game, which is very similar to the Witcher adventure game, and that was pretty fun. It's very basic. I mean, hell, my board game's more complicated than theirs, but it's still a fun little game. Like, if you like the theme, it's a good, like, enjoy the ride sort of experience. Have I thought about updating my WTFs of LOL? It has crossed my mind. It's not high priority. I don't think anyone really needs to know what LOL is. You already know what LOL is. Star Wars Armada. I'm looking forward to that so much. I mean, I love X-Wing. I play a little bit with my wife. Like, we just don't have the time most of the time, but I have a large X-Wing miniatures collection. We played. I'll definitely be playing Armada. That looks like a ton of fun. I love capital ship stuff, and I like the way they're innovating on the movement system, so I am going to be all over that one. I've been keeping with Warhammer, and no, I don't keep up with fantasy, really. Fantasy's not a high priority on my list. I keep up with 40k for the most part. Considering Small World 2, I've been told the client for Small World 2 has a bunch of problems. Otherwise, Small World would be on the list, but apparently it has a bunch of issues that might prevent us from playing it. Yeah, it's functionality, so... confusing UI elements. I don't know how well the multiplayer works. Apparently it's buggy online with non-stop connection authentication issues. That would be a big problem. That was a review posted January 22nd this year, so... that's my big concern with it. Apparently it's a very sloppy port of the mobile version, so... Small World would be an option for the show, but simultaneously, I don't want to play stuff that's unstable. I mean, I'd much rather learn the rules and play virtual tabletop stuff, because that's a stable client that has a save game system. I'd much rather play that than a buggy client. Have you been following the Warhammer 40k third-person shooter MMO? What? Yeah, we've already talked about that. Do you want my old airsoft guns? No, it's okay. I have a big enough collection anyway. I actually have too many. I played Resistance. Yeah, I mean, Resistance is a really easy game. It's a bluffing game. It's fun. So, I think I prefer Resistance Avalon because it has some interesting mechanics mixed in. Like, I almost think that Resistance is too simple. But I like Resistance Avalon because that's got a bunch of really cool shit. Have I played Relic's expansion Nemesis? No, but I do own it, and I'm also looking forward to the next one. Again, Relic, I think, is a really fun game. Have I played Payday 2? Nope. I don't have any opinion on the Hype Train event. I'm the person that wanted to send you jerky. Are you going to try and poison me? What email should... send it to PR. My PR email address. You send it there. That's probably the way to go. What was I watching in the 90s if I wasn't watching Dragon Ball Z? English stuff. We didn't have it. Dragon Ball Z, as far as I'm aware, wasn't aired in the 90s in the UK. I never saw it. I watched some other anime. I watched Akira, Cowboy Bebop, Guyver. and a few other things when I in the 90s when I was a teenager. Was I a teenager in the 90s? Barely. Yeah, I was born in 84, so yeah, I was a teenager in the 90s. I don't even know what OTP means, and you probably need to go to hell. Are there any games in tech you're excited about here at GDC? I want to know what Valve has to say, obviously. Outside of that, we'll see how VR develops and whether or not we get any more announcements. Like, it would be nice to see more CPU and GPU announcements, obviously. More power, more power. Always loving that. The Dota 2 announce pack gets scrapped. The possibility still exists. Like, I put it on hold because of the cancer thing. I do intend to do it at some point, but it's a lot of work. Plus, I'm not keen on my sound quality right now. Like, I have this... There's an annoying electrical buzz. I replaced all of my cables today, and it still doesn't fucking work. So, I'm trying to figure out where the buzz is coming from. I think it might be a USB-related issue. I'm having some problems with my USB ports lately. Have I or will I play Elite Dangerous? I played a little bit of it. I don't have time. I don't have time. That's such a time-consuming game. Will I play Terraria Otherworld? Well, yeah, I'll play it. As to whether or not I'll do a series of it, that's a different matter entirely. It looks interesting. If you need help with the game design, let me know. Yeah, that's cool. I think maybe during the testing, I might. Sorry, I'm like about half an hour behind on questions here. There's so many. But the thing about the game design is that it's like it's experience for me. So I wanted to make it myself because I really want to learn about game design. I think this is a good way to try and get it. Have I played Nosgoth? Yes, and I like it. Nosgoth is pretty fun, actually. We'll see. I haven't played it since they added the new classes, so I'll have to see how that goes. But I liked Nosgoth when I played it. It was a fun spin on the way that Left 4 Dead works. Let's see what else we got. How the co-optional figurines coming along. I'm supposed to be getting samples in the next few days. And then we'll see what they're like. I mean, I've still got to go through several stages of approving samples and, you know, making sure the quality's what we want. I don't want to start selling these figurines until I'm, like, happy with them. I want them on my shelf to look good. Like, and if they don't, then I don't want them made. Simple as that. Have I finished any audiobooks? No, I've mostly just been sleeping. Have I played Shadows of Camelot? Yes, I played it with Husky, and he completely fucked us over. I think I like BSG more, but I think that's maybe down to theme. Shadows of Camelot's still a pretty fun game. Any chance of doing Don't Starve together with Jenna? Probably not. I don't think, I'm okay with Don't Starve. Like, it's the same thing that I said during my video. It's like, I think a certain number of people really love Don't Starve, and I'm not one of those people, but I can still appreciate it based on its mechanics and its actual aesthetic design. That it's like, it's a really well-done survival game. It turns out I don't like survival games. What's my feeling on coconut with chocolate? It's fucking delicious. Absolutely love it. Jesse absolutely hated Scandinavian salty candy. What's my opinion on that stuff? Yeah, I think I like it. As far as I know, anyway. Hard to say. Weasel poster? Maybe. Have I played Cosmic Encounter? No, but I'm told that I really fucking have to. So I should. If I start playing Star Trek Online, what do you suggest starting? Well, I mean, you can play anything in Star Trek Online. You can play Federation, Klingon, or Romulan. They're all fully fleshed out now, so... It used to be a case of playing Klingon was shitty because there was a lot of filler quests, but they've really filled it in since then. I mean, just play it. Like, you can get the max level in that game and not have to spend a penny. That's the reality of it. And a lot of the gear you can get, the good stuff, you don't need money for, and frankly, you shouldn't get money for. If you're gonna spend it on anything, like an upgrade token to get a tier 5 ship to a tier 5U, and you're not even gonna have to think about that before level 50, or buy like a tier 6 ship, and that's it. You don't have to spend a lot of money on that game, but you will progress faster if you do. It's that simple. But I think it's worth playing through Star Trek Online to max level just to experience the content. The space stuff, anyway. The ground stuff's kind of shitty. Let's see. What's your favorite beef jerky? I haven't found one that I really like yet. I like the concept of beef jerky. I haven't found a really good one. The Jack Link small batch was pretty good. But I'm still not 100% convinced by beef jerky yet. Who's playing with us tonight? It's supposed to be Jesse, Dodger, and Krendor, the usual crew. We're still waiting on Jesse, who looks like he might end up being late. We're gonna have to go off air. Actually, I mean, we could just do sound check here, I guess. No, we can't. You know, I can do it. Yeah, I can do it. So, we'll do that shortly. Assassin's Creed Rogue is out in just over a week. Any chance of a port report? Yeah, I'll port report it. Probably won't play it. I'm told it's just more of Assassin's Creed 4, which I guess is fine. But ultimately, like, do I really want to play another Assassin's Creed game? No, I fucking don't. Absolutely not. No, no, no. What else have we got here? Some TV shows you're watching right now. I'm finishing off my binge run of West Wing for the second time. So I'm in the middle of season 5 of West Wing, and I'm watching season 4 of Suits right now, which is a fucking great show. And I do mean to start House of Cards. I haven't done it yet, but I mean to binge watch now that season 3's out. I think I'll binge on House of Cards once I'm done with this. I've been told it's the anti-West Wing. It's like West Wing's all about positivity, and this is all about fuck you politics. There should be a board game about being a reviewer and selling out as much as possible. I could make that. I could make that one. Any chance to visit Gamescom this year? Unlikely. Maybe. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's good. Gamescom's a great show, and we got a lot of content done last time we went there, and they invited us back. They wanted us back there, which is really cool, because they don't usually do that. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't like flying. I've got to get over that. I don't really want to get on a plane. Let's see. What happened to the new overlay for the lounge? For some reason, Chris hasn't done it yet. I'm not really sure what he's fucking up to. Am I selling out for Big Tuna Pizza? Absolutely. Have I played Frozen Cortex? I have, yes. I haven't played it enough to really assess it yet. I don't think I like it as much as I like Frozen Synapse. I am less keen on the whole American football thing than I am on the sort of Rainbow Six style tactical thing that Synapse did. But it's not bad. I need to play it against some real humans, and then I'll probably get an idea. How much worse is fast food in America than it is in Europe? It's tastier. It's way worse for you, but it's tastier. I know Wendy's in this country tastes much fucking better than Wendy's in the UK. Pizza delivery over here sucks, which is weird. Like, you can get a much better pizza delivered in the UK than you can in the US, which is really strange, because it's supposed to be the land of fucking pizza. So I don't know what the hell's up with that. But, you know, you get great burgers over here. Absolutely fantastic burgers. Can't beat them. See what else we got. Only a couple more, and then what I'm going to do is I'll bring the stream down for a while, because we're going to do the sound check and setup. Let's see. A lot of repeat questions here. Easiest way to reach us as a fan is here. I mean, we deliberately don't make it easy. Like, I can't spend my time talking to fans all the time, and I've made it kind of clear that I don't want this parasocial relationship to develop where people are expecting more from me than I really can provide. I don't want to be friends with people because I think it's a really unhealthy thing to do, because I don't know any of you. So I think there's a really, what's the way to say it? There's a real possibility of developing an exploitative relationship in those situations, where someone is, like, say, very vulnerable, and they're more likely to listen to what I have to say, because, of course, they're a fan of what I have to say. So I actually hold, like, a lot of power in that relationship, and I think that's really unhealthy. And I think some people go too far with that when they do this whole video games on the internet thing, and I want to avoid that, and I want to keep that barrier. I think it's the only thing you should ever expect from me is good quality videos. And if I give you that, then we're cool. I don't really want to do anything else. So I keep access to fans to a minimum for that reason, because I think there's a real possibility of an unhealthy relationship starting there. What's your opinion? Hearthstone video supposed leaks. Well, I mean, if they're doing another adventure, I'll be happy to see that. That was fun. I don't think it's necessarily the most efficient way of releasing cards, but it's a fun way of doing it. Oh, apparently Munchkin's going digital. Fucking awesome. Cool. Great. I'll be looking forward to that then. Yeah, I'll be doing more Hearthstone videos. I'm probably, in celebration of winning Lord of the Arena 3, going to do an all-left arena deck. So it'll just be I pick the card on the left every time, and we see if we can do anything. Will Axiom Store ever restock? Yes. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that, but they're supposed to be restocking. Do you think AAA games are losing their value, besides being marketing pieces and technological showpieces? This is mostly the fault of consoles, and this is also very common every time a new console generation comes out. So you've got several waves of games that come out that are basically just showpieces, and then once the console's been out for a couple of years, you start to get the really good stuff. So I think it's cyclical. I don't think it's necessarily just happening now. It's been happening forever. Like, think about the launch titles for, like, the PS3 and the Xbox 360. Think about how many showpieces were in there that were just really bad games. So, yeah. It happens. I don't think AAA... I just think they need to be more careful with going overboard with the whole cinematic thing. Like, I think they really overestimate how many people absolutely fucking love cutscenes. I don't think they do anywhere near as much as they think. So I have a feeling that that's something they need to look at. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna have to wrap it up now because we're gonna have to do some sound checking before we actually start. I know Angry Joe's not following on Twitter. Yeah, it's because I spam too much. We get along just fine. There's nothing between me and Angry Joe. Don't worry about it. Cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna wrap this up, and then I'm gonna do a sound check, and I'm gonna try and find what the fuck Jesse's doing, because he should be here by now. And then we're gonna get the show on the road with Battlestar Galactica. So thank you for listening. The stream will be off for a little while we do sound checking and general setup.